Hello, welcome back to Access. I'm Rob. Joining us today is Gareth from EA Sports. How are you, Gareth? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good, and we're talking FIFA 17. Now, every year, I guess it must be quite a challenge for you to identify last year's game, what changes you want to make, and how you want to improve the game. So can you tell us, first of all, what you've identified from FIFA 16, what you want to improve, and how you've gone about doing that?
Yeah, so I think, as you said, it's always a challenge, but I think the number of years I've been on FIFA, so I've been on FIFA since FIFA 12, it gets easier and easier to find the things you want to do because you've saved up all these ideas, you're getting all this feedback from gamers, and we've got so many ideas that we want to put into place, so it's all a matter of trying to figure out what are the right ones for the right year to put in.
And could you tell us something specific that you've changed gameplay-wise? Because last year we had improved dribbling, for instance.
Yeah.
What have you changed with the feel of the game, how it plays this year? You know, are we going to see more physical play? Is it going to be a bit slower? How are you changing the dribbling this year? You know, what can we expect?
Yeah, huge change with gameplay, and I love it. My style of play, I love playing physical. Yeah. I love the midfield battles. I like getting the ball to my big strikers and holding up play.
Yeah.
So that's a style I like to play. I think people that I play with in the studio who still love getting out to the wings, more fast paced, they can still play that way too. But the four big things we've done within gameplay. So the first one is, as you mentioned, physical play. So now we've got the ability to use the left trigger and hold that 360 degree shielding of the ball, which is awesome. All the set pieces in the game are totally changed, completely rewritten. So free kicks, penalties, corners, everything's completely different. All the intelligence of player runs completely changed, so attacking intelligence. And we're getting some really realistic runs. Even the ability for players to, lure a defender with a run to allow their teammate to get into space. So that's been pretty exciting to see. And then some new attacking techniques. So the ability to hit, something I've always wanted to do a little bit better in FIFA is hit, hard downward shots from distance. Try to hit those corners, which we see happen so much in real life.
Yeah.
Things like downward headers, new passing. Goalies can now, or keepers can now, ping the ball out. It's been pretty awesome so far.
I played a bit of the game at E3, and it really struck me. Would you say this is the biggest kind of change in gameplay for FIFA since you've started working on it? Because it really did feel like a huge departure. You mentioned you changed the system for free kicks, corners, throw-ins, set pieces. It really does feel completely different this year.
Yeah, I love it. I think all the years I've been on FIFA, we've had some really big changes.
Yeah.
So when we put in tactical defending, that was a big shift. The impact engine, when we put the real physics into how players collide, that was another big shift. So I think this year it's about all these different pieces, pulling them together into something that's very balanced and unified. This isn't a case of just changing a bunch of stuff because we can. Yeah. It's really, how do we get the most realistic and authentic play with that balance between all those elements of play.
Absolutely. You mentioned the game's more physical this year, and a thing you often find with FIFA, especially if you play online, lots of people control Real Madrid, Barcelona, teams with fast, skillful players, strong players. I guess with it being more physical, would that allow someone who wants to play as a really dogged team like Atletico Madrid, for instance? I guess it kind of liberates teams like that and allows you to kind of emulate their style a bit more and allow those teams to combat the kind of skillful flair players that everyone likes to play with online.
Absolutely, and that's what I love to do when I play. Is I'm an Arsenal supporter. Yeah. Giroud is a player who's maybe a bit maligned in the history of FIFA and how he plays, but now I can get the ball to him, I can hold it up, I can really play the role that he plays in real life for Arsenal within FIFA. So that's been amazing to me, and even players like Hazard, very quick, amazing dribbling, but he's also
really strong.
He's very strong. He's very physical. So you can use both elements, the skill moves, the quick dribbling, as well as the physical play to really define how you want to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm a Crystal Palace fan, so if I want to play as Crystal Palace, my style has to be quite dogged. And would there be more options for me now, say, if I'm playing a Premier League with Crystal Palace? What options would I have to kind of counter, more talented teams? Like if I'm coming up against an Arsenal, can I set my team up in such a way as I can block them and play how Crystal Palace play on the counter-attack and, really hanging in there like an underdog would?
Definitely. So you can use the tactics to hold back, to really, park the bus, hold back, if you need to do that, and try to break on the counter. So definitely the players that you have on the club that you love to play with, and for you that's Palace, I think you can really play to your style and try to combat the tactics or the players that the other club has.
Fantastic. And obviously FIFA's renowned for its visual authenticity as well as its gameplay. And I see this year you've got managers in there for the first time.
Yeah.
Why is that so important for FIFA, do you think?
Oh, I mean, it's just awesome for me. Like, I've always wanted that within FIFA. And when we started working on the journey, so our new cinematic mode, we knew that it was so important to have that atmosphere of the real managers in the journey, in your story mode, in these scenes. So again, if I'm going to play for Arsenal, you're going to play for Palace.
Yeah.
For me to see, Wenger in the locker room or on the sideline, it just makes it feel so real. And if you're just playing the rest of the game, you're not playing the journey, we're still going to be able to show those managers reacting on the sidelines, doing all that stuff. You get to see Mourinho, getting angry or Klopp going crazy. So I think it's really exciting.
Are we going to see like manager-specific celebrations? Like if Liverpool score a great goal, is Klopp going to bomb off down the touchline doing the crazy celebrations that he does?
We've got some stuff. So definitely. And if you caught our new gameplay trailer that we debuted, yesterday, we've got some manager celebrations in there that I think give a real feel for those real managers in real life and how they're reacting.
And obviously one of the huge new additions is the journey, as you said there. Is that kind of a reaction from you as to, football is constantly changing and there's quite a lot of emphasis on the lifestyle of players now, as well as how they perform on the pitch. They're under huge scrutiny in their private lives. Is that a kind of a response to that, to get people kind of feeling what it's like to be a footballer off the pitch as well as on it?
Definitely. So ever since I've started working at EA, on EA Sports, I've always wanted to do this type of mode.
Yeah.
It's ever since I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do. And I think recently, in the last number of years, with social media, we're seeing more of behind the scenes of what players like to do when they're not playing football, what their home lives are like, and what their cars are like, on the airplane, on the bus. So that's added another element into what you can do with these types of modes. So as you said, we have a real desire to bring the outside of football, the off the pitch, into people's living rooms and let them experience what it's like. So we worked with some consultants on the game. So Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, some writers, Tom Watt, who's written some books on just football in general. So we worked with those guys to understand, what was it like for you? What do you see in the real world in today's environment within football? And we tried to bring those elements into the journey, and we hope that people are going to see that stuff come out when they play.
Amazing. In terms of how the journey works, say I guess the story of it will be largely dependent on how well you play on the field. How long does the journey last? Are we going to go beyond just the one season? And how will the story change dependent on, I guess, if I come on my debut and score a hat-trick, the story's going to be hugely different to if I come on and have an absolute stinker, How does it work, technically?
Yeah. So we're not going to talk too much yet about what the ending looks like or kind of the future of the series. At Gamescom here, we've got a lot of the journey for people to come and play and check out. But to your question on how do we differentiate between different people's experiences, a huge part of what we designed into the mode. So we wanted it to always reflect your performance. Even the things that you say, so your answers in interviews, how you're interacting with teammates, with your coaches, with your managers, your personality is going to affect some things. So if you are a bit of a hothead and you like to respond in that way,
a bit of a Zlatan.
You're going to get some scenes that I might not see if I'm playing a bit more balanced or a bit more neutral. We've got some social media elements within the game. So again, keeping track of how well you're playing, if you scored a hat trick, if you got an assist. We want the world of football within the journey to be reflecting you and what you're doing. So it's always feeling smart about what's going on, and your story is reflecting that.
Amazing. And my final question, one of the huge modes, obviously, in any FIFA is Ultimate Team. What can you tell us about Ultimate Team this year? Are there going to be any big changes?
Yeah, Ultimate Team, I was working on that this year, so Amazing. It's very near and dear to my heart. We unveiled 2 huge new features on our live stream yesterday, and the first big one is squad building challenges. So that's a feature that our community's been talking about and asking for a long time.
Yeah.
And Ultimate Team, a lot of people are building, a squad to use online to play their matches, and they're amassing huge amounts of player content that they're not necessarily using. So we wanted to make a feature that could let you use all that content in all these unique and different challenges that we're going to launch with. So stuff with like more puzzle challenges where you have to put, in some cases, quite complicated combinations of chemistry, nations, leagues, players, put those together and get some really good in-game rewards out of that. We've got some league content that we're going to be launching, so you need to put the right players into the right clubs, complete all the clubs to get the league. And then even just ones that are handing in your bronze players or your silver players to get something a little bit better in return. So it's going to be a really unique way to play. We think the fans are going to love it. And then the second big news for us is FUT Champions, which is our new competitive mode within FIFA Ultimate Team. And FUT is where everyone seems to be playing online within FIFA. It's hugely popular. So we wanted to build a mode that could let people be competitive against each other. For someone like me, in seasons, the best I've ever gotten was Division 4.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that on camera. But I'm still looking forward to FUT Champions because if I can make it into that new weekend league, and if I can get up a few tiers, the in-game rewards are going to be really great for me. But if you're someone who's amazing at the game, the types of rewards you can get at the high end are the biggest we've ever had in FUT, so people are going to be really excited. And we had Peter Moore make an announcement the other day as well that's huge, is that FUT Champions is going to feed the new Ultimate Team Championship Series and the FIFA Interactive World Cup with a $1.3 million prize pool.
Wow.
So yeah,
it's big news.
It's huge news. So the mode itself is amazing. It's fun. It's got great rewards. And if you're someone at the very top of that pyramid in competitive play, you've got this other thing that you can try to aspire to. So it's pretty big news.
Amazing. Well, it sounds incredibly exciting, Gareth. Thank you so much for talking to us about FIFA 17.
Thank you.
Let us know in the comments what you think of the game, if you're excited for the new changes. FIFA Ultimate Team sounds amazing this year. And don't forget to subscribe, of course, because we have absolutely loads more coming up from Gamescom.